I live in the deep south. My dad is Latino, my mom is white, but I obviously look white. And looking the way that I do has given people the comfortability to say very racist things straight to my face. My dad grew up in a household that was definitely below the poverty line, and he was well into his teens by the time that segregation ended. Now, let me say that again for the people who think that we are so far removed from the days of legal discrimination. My dad, not my great-grandfather, not my ancestors, my dad was a teenager before the Civil Rights Act went into effect. Needless to say, there was not a lot of opportunity for people who looked like my dad and came from the bad part of town. Ultimately, he ended up starting his own business and he was very successful. But I have a distinct memory of when I was a teenager and I invited over a group of friends for the first time, and they had never seen my dad. They had only seen my mom. And when they got to my house, they said, "Oh, this is a nice house. What does your dad do?" And before I could answer, they started guessing. They're like, "I bet he's a doctor or a surgeon, or he works in real estate." And then at that very moment, my dad walks by and they get all wide-eyed and they lowered their voice. And in all seriousness, they look me dead in the eyes and say, "Oh, is he in the cartel? Does he sell drugs?" Now, whether these kids had shitty parents that taught them to think that way, or whether it was more passive, like watching all the movies and media that show Latinos as Mexican gang members or drug dealers, whatever it was, these kids had some sort of pre-programmed assumptions to where at the sight of my dad, it made them erase the idea that he could possibly be contributing to our society earnestly. We all want all violent criminals out of the country. That is not the debate. If you were late on paying your taxes and then the government came to your house, ripped you from your family, and sent you to another country, you would be rioting in the streets. But we seem to be okay with that scenario if somebody is late on renewing their visa, and we justify it by saying, "Oh, they committed a crime, it's on them." But I'm asking you to sit with that thought and ask yourself if you have any preconceived ideas about what these folks are contributing or taking away from our society. Because you know who has absolutely committed crimes and siphoned money from the working class? A lot of corporations and even some of our elected officials. And they've siphoned more from you than every immigrant put together. Yet we are hyper-focused on this group of people, yet we justify and excuse similar transgressions for these people in power, and you need to ask yourself why.